All right, so this I gotta start documenting, doing a lot better job documenting this. I think I'm gonna go down this rabbit hole a little bit more. This was a Bokashi fermentation using spent mushroom substrates, mushroom blocks, Bokashi, and a lot of biochar. A whole lot of inoculated biochar. I fermented it for about 3 weeks. Oh, and I added worm castings, a very good set of worm castings to it. And I wanted to see what was going to happen. So here I am. This is months later. I found that the microbes look like they've absorbed the biochar. If you look at them, I'm gonna zoom in real quick so you can see that everything that surrounds them is black outline. Now all the dense black, these little, this is charcoal. This is actually the biochar, the carbon itself. The, the microscopic pieces of carbon. But it's all the biology, and I'm gonna point to this here. These here that are all outlined in black. This is yeast. And then in the far deep background there, you see these little things jittering. They all seem to have some type of lining of charcoal. Like, I believe that they've absorbed it because this is not normal when you're looking at just a regular sample. And then this here is what made me finally decide, okay, I need to document that. I'm thinking this was probably a worm, a big worm. I've seen them before. But look inside of this. Whatever it was, it's no longer alive. But it absorbed, it ate everything that, and it's got biochar in it. So this sample I've inoculated it with ciliates and protists. So all the stuff you see moving even from up here, those are all the ciliates, and the idea is that these things eat everything, and you see how fast they move. So, are they eating carbon? Are they eating microbes that have carbon absorbed, and then they're flying around everywhere? And then as they senesce, or even deeper, as they multiply, they clone. It's called binary fission. They'll clone themselves, and it becomes an exact clone, which means that they would split in the middle. They would split everything they have, including carbon. So then the question is that happening? Are they splitting carbon? Is it further sequestering carbon? I mean, that is so crazy. And even more importantly, well, to me at least, are they cruising around everywhere, and just as they die, they're just dropping that carbon? Look at this nematode. It looks like it was a nematode, but look inside of it. I'm at 400x right now. I'm gonna go to 600. I'm gonna see if I can get a better shot of that. But everything inside of it is outlined with black outlining. So I'm just gonna call that charcoal. Look at that there. That might be a spore. So even at that level, and all these big black chunks, again, those are chunks of biochar that we're looking at. This long thing here, that was a nematode, or it's a worm, a type of worm, a round worm. And so I'm gonna jump back out to 400 and then go back to 100. Let's move this around a little bit more. And so the idea is I have all these predators in here now, all the larger microbes that are running around tearing everything apart, and I want to see what that's going to look like. But I'm already look here, these are some type of amoebae that are either encysted, meaning they get into their little shell and they until the conditions are ideal for them or safe, or they could be dead. But this would be yeast right here. Oh, these little things here. So even the yeast is doing its thing. You know, all this. Look at that. I think the yeast especially seems to be really absorbing this. Let me keep moving. What is this? I've got a lot of biology in here. You know, this has been going on for 3 months. And as a matter of fact, I had left this sample outside in a jar, and man, I'm telling you, that jar, it was still about 50% moisture on it, and that's maybe a testament to biochar holding. I've heard 7 times its weight in water and moisture, which makes sense. But I'm gonna let this sample now sit for a couple days. I might even monitor this every other day, and hoping to see bigger ciliates and predators in here. If not, I will add more. I may just add a bunch of nematodes in here that I know have not been in this environment, and so I'll add the nematodes, and then we'll look at them right away. Oh, look at this! You see, these are the kind of things that I want to try to catch. This is gonna be tough. But you see this guy here? This is the predator. So look how fast he moves. Look how much he absorbs, or it absorbs. So this is my thought here, is that it's moving around a lot of carbon. I mean, relative to its size, and I lost it. But look at this one here. Look at this testate insisted. Little black dots inside of it. I'm gonna end up having to go to like 1000x with oil just to when I go in the next time, I'll do that. I wonder what's going on there. I can't get in far enough. Probably a little flagellate. I'm gonna back out again. 400. Whoa. 100. So yes, that's what I'm gonna do here with this, and hopefully, hopefully we see some cool stuff, you know. But this is how you find out. You got to do the work. But imagine that your microbes. This is why I would add biochar to just about everything. My worm bins, especially now with the idea that the thought that these microbes are moving around charcoal. How about that? That's talk about embedding it. Let's put the fluorescent. Well, no, that's not. I'll run that the next time. So anyway, so this is kind of maybe video 2, because I made one. Man, maybe I'll start this as like a video 1 and just start from here. I've got other footage of this as it's in its before I added the ciliates, because there's a lot of movement going on in the background now. Before, this sat more like an EM1 where you saw the yeast, you saw the labs. There were a couple protists and a couple of encysted microbes, but nothing. I didn't see the movement that I wanted to see and follow. So maybe we'll sit back and in a couple days I'm gonna come back in, and if from there I'll decide whether I'm gonna add nematodes or I'll add different types of biology. I'm currently been brewing a lot of Diloptis, which are really big, and maybe that's what I'll put in here to see, get a good clean shot, because they're pretty manageable. I'd like to see some rotifers in here and observe them, just because they're big and they'll move slowly and you can really get in there. But we'll take what we can get. How about that? And in a couple days, it's probably be a lot more chaos in here as far as ciliates are concerned, at least. So, anyway, I think I've gone in a little too much on this video, but look at all this biochar, though. That's amazing. That's beautiful. Wow. This is where you can solubilize it, put it in your teas, get it delivered into your root zones for plants that are already established and you're not able to work it in. You can get it in at a microscopic level. Well, let me see this real quick before I go. That looks like a lot going on here. What? Huh. I'm not gonna get a clear shot on that thing. All right, guys. See what happens.